Hey there, welcome to a new edition of Crimson Orc. Today we're going to discuss some Masters of the Universe Revelation news, some news about the new Faker toy, and also the issue 1 comic I got, which arrived this week, which I'll give you a little quick preview. And of course the final bit of main content would be the kind of like the reaction to some of the negative comments that are made currently about Teela and the focus of Teela and the Teela character design as well. So hopefully you'll enjoy this content. Remember to like and subscribe as always. So let's get to it. Masters of the Universe Revelation is expanding the toy range further with the announcement of the Faker toy. This reveal effectively answers the trailer question about who Teela was up against. Was it He-Man, Possessor or Faker? Fans suspected Faker, of course, but the toy essentially confirms this one now. The toy itself comes with a wealth of new accessories, and I like the Terminator light battle damage, which I'm sure Teela can inflict on this nasty opponent. It's so sad that the trickle of Masters of the Universe Revelation action figures are slowly appearing in the UK market. I hope that Mattel changes its distribution strategy, as the UK market is going to see Skelly God, the Oni figure, come out by the end of this month, and He-Man coming out much later, which I don't find is a very good common sense strategy really. So I hope that really changes. I got my first issue of Masters of the Universe Revelation comic, and I'm excited to get this. Written by showrunners Kevin Smith and Rob David, along with Tim Sheridan. The story is regarded as a prequel to the animated series coming on the 23rd of July. Let's just keep in mind that this is the first issue, but I found the story wastes no time in getting into the action, bringing He-Man by the second page really. There's not going to be any spoilers, but let's just say that there's a mystery involving an ancient creature that breaches Eternia and attacks King Randor, and it's up to He-Man to understand the origins of the creature by travelling to the past. The artwork is crisp and clear throughout, and the story zips along very nicely. As with spoilers already out there, King Grayskull makes an appearance. There's been a lot of backlash from the reactionary right about the so-called race swap, but I'm just looking forward to hearing Dennis Haysbert providing the voice, as I liked him back in his stint during the series 24. Just as I was excited about seeing Samuel L. Jackson take on Nick Fury in the Marvel movies for the first time, and we all remember he did a really fantastic job as well, bringing that character to life. It will be exciting to learn more about King Grayskull in this series, and I'm happy that Smith included the character in there to kind of build up the mythology and legacy that the character left to Eternia. That's what real fans should be looking out for really, and that's what real fandom is about. How significant is Teela going to be in this version? Very, and Netflix series description on the series webpage says so, and it's been there for some time now. What we can speculate is that Revelation is Teela finally getting to know that Prince Adam is He-Man, and obviously things happen that shatter Eternia and destroys a lot of the things that we know from the classic series. He-Man is somehow cast into an unknown dimension, or exile even. The sorceress dies in a physical form but inhabits Orko in spirit form, which is how I can explain his power up in the last trailer. Most of the characters from both sides suffer casualties, but it's up to Teela to set out on a quest and try and find He-Man and reassemble the Sword of Power. To me, Teela is like a very similar character, Princess Leia. And nobody will complain about having more Princess Leia in Star Wars movies, just like having more Teela isn't a bad thing either. Teela is one of those most seen characters, unimportant characters in the series legacy. However, she had to play a damsel in distress a little far too often in the classic series. That's something that the reactionary right don't mention at all. Let's try and change this overused trope. The 2000X series added more depth to the character, implying that Duncan / man at arms is the actual father, and with the sorceress being the mother. Teela is worth our character to explore in the new series, but just as in the past series, she's always been part of the mythology of Masters of the Universe in a really big way, and that's what people need somehow conveniently forget when discussing Revelation. However, that's all seems to be pushed to the sidelines with this kind of stupid, silly culture war that's happening on social media over the series. And the series hasn't even been released yet. It all started with obviously this infamous image in Entertainment Weekly. One of the main arguments from anti-SJWs was that Teela was unnecessarily muscular, making her more masculine. Well, this is an animation aimed at a grown-up fan like myself. I expect a certain amount of plausibility and realism these days. Teela is the captain of the Royal Guard and trains constantly, building strength and athleticism. She looks like a modern day female athlete, which is perfectly fine, especially as most of the other masters are equally jacked up. Her main adversaries are Beastman, Trapjaw and Skeletor, and there are no pushovers. Teela's not going to look like a fairy princess going into combat. We can take the argument back to the Terminator franchise. Sarah Connor was a waitress in the first film, but in the second film she had to build up a physique, got training weaponry to beat the Terminators and survive. I honestly can't see the difference here, and T2 was released way back in 1991. I would love to see Teela flourish in the same way as Sarah Connor did in the first two Terminator films. I don't even think changing Teela's appearance is an SJW move anyway at all, in fact. But one that serves the story, the world, the character. There's also a narrative around Teela's haircut. Yes, it's boyish. In fashion terms, it's apparently known as a boyish bang. However, I don't particularly have love for this hairstyle, but it looks modern enough. It doesn't bother me. I don't think Teela will be the main focus of Season 2 if it happens. Netflix and Mattel are definitely looking into building an MCU style universe in the Masters of the Universe world, which is totally possible given all the cool characters the IP has. Season 2 will be focused on different characters and have a different subtitle other than Revelation. It will be amazing to see a storyline devoted to Man at Arms, or even one of the bad guys. It's called Expanding the Law and Expanding the Possibilities Within the World. Kevin Smith and Mattel are doing a courageous thing here, trying to bring back a 40-year-old IP, and I'm prepared to give them the opportunity to deliver a great show. If I was in Kevin Smith's shoes, just messing up Masters of the Universe would be a really big negative on any fanboy career. But on the other hand, I want him to bring Masters up to date for a modern audience and actually take some risk with the format. Just imagine if the new series is treading the same tired formula of the classic series. This is a classic one where Skeletor hatches a plan, Prince Adam, Teela, Man at Arms investigate a problem, Prince Adam changes into He-Man, shows up, saves the day. Storytelling doesn't work like that anymore, and ultimately that led to its cancellation. People got bored of the same formula. Let's see something new. It's never going to please everyone, and there's always crap out there on social media, kind of echo chamber bullshit, which I hope the majority of fans will filter out and enjoy the revival series. I'm sure that both SJW and anti-SJW will have something to twist and use to further their agendas, but let's not go down those rabbit holes. The franchise has been around for decades and everyone seems to have an opinion, but what we don't need is this kind of extreme left and right opinions that have nothing to do about entertaining a mass audience, which is what Masters of the Universe needs to do. At the end of the day, it's about expanding the universe, good storytelling, hitting the right nostalgia buttons. I'm just thankful it feels nothing like the new adventures of He-Man, really. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of Crimson Orc. Like and subscribe as always. If you have any comments about Teela in particular, please drop them below. Thank you. I'll see you soon.